Okay, now that I've pinned it all the way around, and remember I did not go ahead and stitch that, you may want to. I actually like to start right about where we did our stitching, our straight stitching. So I'm going to line in here, and remember our seam allowance is 3/8 of an inch on this whole thing. And right around where this little center part is really the only part that I'm going to stretch to make sure that it's all in the right place. So. Once we get over here, there's no reason to do any stretching, unless the unless your pattern pieces didn't line up right. Okay, I'm coming back around to the front. Okay, so I'm hitting the side seam. Okay, now I'm coming right back up to the center. And this is where that one piece kind of didn't do it at 100%. Wasn't right in the right spot altogether. Okay. And make sure there's nothing underneath it. And we are only sewing over up to those stitches. Okay. So if it doesn't look like there's any bubbles in there, let's take a peek. That looks pretty good. So then the last, I didn't get my seams lined up, which I'm not surprised because I didn't stitch that down. So the last step we'll want to do here is we can do our hem. Now if you want to make sure that, you know, let's say the hip shape is correct, go ahead and try it on right now. You can make any adjustments at the side seam and then you'll work on your hem. So I'm actually going to show you the hem with my cover stitch machine. My zigzag is not happy with this fabric, so as opposed to having ugly zigzags, I'm going to just do this on this machine. And I actually do not have the camera, the overhead camera set up for this one yet. So we're just going to have to use the GoPro. So I am just going to fold that down. So yes, my hem is uneven. But I'm going to fold it down to where it should be, and then I'm going to basically line it up to my hem. So it looks good on the outside. And then I walk it a few stitches, walk it down, pull the threads up, and pull that out. Like this machine I haven't used a whole lot, so it looks good on the outside. It doesn't look so great on the underneath, but that's okay. No one's looking at it except for me. So now I'm going to take and do the same thing on this back panel. Kind of figuring out where that needs to be. For the most part, it'll be even. But when I can actually get my hands on the rest of the hem, then I'll straighten out the rest of the hem. So. And I'm almost there. Okay, so now I can kind of see where my hem is, and I can kind of blend the hem. But yeah, you can do this with a zigzag. You can even do kind of a fake blind hem with the overlock machine. I'm not going to do that right now because I just want to have this one done. I'm going to show you attaching the the elastic to the waistband on another machine. So the hem is done and I will be right back. The last step I'm going to do is put a little bit of elastic at the waistline just to help support it a little bit. So I have just this waistband elastic I used for my bra making. You can use a lot of different things. This one is pretty firm, so just be aware that when you're of the stretch on whatever you're putting on here when it goes over your head. It's also possible if you wanted to just put it in the front, you could do that. That way you don't need that constriction on the back, but it's really up to you. On my first bathing suit, I actually did not use any elastic whatsoever, and it was actually just fine. So for this one, I'm actually only going to do it on the front. So what I want to do is let me fold this inside out so I can actually see where my side seam is. And we know we want the softness towards the skin. So if we think the elastic's going to probably be rolling down, which it most likely is, it's not going to be sitting upright. We actually want to do it on this side. So, where it is it? Find the end of the elastic here. So basically we'll be stitching it on the seam allowance like this, and then it'll fall sitting down. So that way even your seam is covered, and so it should be a little bit soft. So for me, I'm just going to be starting this at the side. So I'm going to lean this up just a little bit past. And I want to make sure that I'm only stitching on that seam allowance. Get this on. And you should be sewing with a zigzag. And I would not pull the elastic at all. And oops. Keeps moving on me. And even if you are going to be going around the entire body of it, I would still start it at the side seam. That way it doesn't overlap or kind of hit you weird at the, in the rib cage. Like, because I know anything on my rib cage in the front gets irritated. And then I'm just going to stitch a couple more stitches and then back stitch and be done. Okay, let me grab my scissors. So if you look at it, it looks like it's going to be nice and soft. Okay. And if this for some reason starts being a little bit of a nuisance, what I would do is I would try and basically kind of cover it and do a little V-stitch. And I can do that right now, because I can tell that right now is going to be a little irritating. So I'll get my machine back on a straight stitch. And so I'm kind of just folding my elastic at a V. And stitch. And you got to make sure you don't go too far that you're actually going to be stitching on the bathing suit, which it looks like I actually did. Yep, so I did it. Yep, you got to be careful. Let me pop that stitch out. Like, I'd hate to mess up my bathing suit in the last step. And Unfortunately, it looks like I got a couple stitches in there. Okay, I could always go back there and make sure it's okay, but it still looks pretty sturdy to me. Over here on the side, what you might want to do is just kind of stitch it down right at the side seam. I'm just going to cut it. There we go. So there is the inside of the front of my bathing suit. And here is, my completed bathing suit. And let me remove those stitches. And there we go. One tankini with secret pocket. All done. Thanks for watching. If you would like to have more content like this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment below. Thank you very much.